Hey y'all, happy Sunday night. So tomorrow morning I am going to be on Speak Seductively podcast with Kyle Cannon, and I'm super stoked to be talking about the upcoming release of Dance with Darkness on October 17th. And yeah. But this is going to be I thought that I was only going to have one more paranormal incidences and supernatural weird occurrences story for you guys. But it turns out that I was looking at some pictures tonight, and I came across this old white house that I was really drawn to while I was visiting a friend in Tennessee, in the Springfield, Tennessee area, and this was around 2018 or so. So it's been a few years ago. Early 2018 also. So yeah, and basically I thought that when I saw those pictures, it just made me remember that incident, and I thought that I would talk about that tonight. So, first of all, let's share a couple of pictures with you guys. So anyway, to make a long story short, because I only have like 10 minutes here, I was in the Springfield, Tennessee area, and it was probably around March 2018 with my ex-boyfriend, and we were just kind of driving around, to get some air and just like have a country drive. And it was a Sunday. It so happened to be a Sunday. It was an overcast day and it was kind of dreary. And Springfield, Tennessee, and the area that we were, riding around is not too far from Adams, Tennessee, which those of you who are familiar with paranormal stories might know that Adams, Tennessee is incredibly haunted, and it is known as the birthplace of the Bell Witch. So these hills are in the Appalachian area, so they are definitely filled with things. And I had not really ran around the Springfield area because most of the time that I spent in Tennessee, even though I lived there for a good 15 years of my life, was in Middle Tennessee and in Eastern Tennessee, and more like the south middle area, like going towards the Alabama line. Like I lived like 45 minutes from the Alabama state line for the longest time in a town called Columbia, Tennessee. I lived in Franklin, I lived in Nashville, I lived in Maryville and Alcoa, and those areas. But I had never went up. I mean, I did live in Clarksville for a little while, and Springfield and Clarksville are close to each other. And I had lived there and stayed there for a very short period of time, like 3 months. But this second time around, I was in a better state and position, and I wanted to, just kind of get a day out and drive around and see the scenery in that area of Tennessee. We were driving around and we saw that house, and it just seemed really eerie, and it was bright daylight, and I was like, that house seems so strange. It's so big, and it was on a huge vacant property, and I seen that it only had the one posted sign, and I thought, why are all the windows blown out, and it doesn't have any boarding up? It's very accessible. It's very easy to just park your car and walk up to this house. And as the pictures show, you can see how simple that was. But the energy as I was walking towards it was immediately dark and stifling. Like, I felt like this pressure on my chest, and like I couldn't breathe. And my boyfriend was like, come on, let's check it out. It looks really cool. And he was interested in like, those people that go around, they run around. There's a guy on YouTube named the Carpetbagger, I believe, and they go around basically just like checking out abandoned properties and houses that are, decrepit houses and things like that, and showing you like what was left in disarray or whatever. And he was really interested in things like that. He had actually talked about maybe starting his own podcast or something like that. So he was really wanting to go check this thing out. And we walked up and we were walking around it, and I was like, I noticed the no trespassing sign, and I was like, I don't think we should go inside. And he's like, are you worried about the no trespassing sign? And I was like, well, not just that, but like something is making me feel like I can't breathe, like the air is getting thick. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, but I'm going to walk around and I'm going to take some pictures. And I walked around the whole house and I took pictures of the whole thing, which I happened to have my device in this situation, and I didn't know anything about it. So then I went back to talk to my friend, and shout out to Abby, and ask her if she knew anything about this house. So I went back and I said, hey, so there's this big white house and it has the windows out. And she interrupted me mid-sentence and she goes, it's hella haunted. It is hella haunted. And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, like, local folklore. She's like, there's a lot of people that have tried to rent that house or even renovate it because it's a beautiful, huge, like, 5-bedroom house, and it's got like 2 baths and on a giant open corner lot, and it's got this really big tree, and you can just tell that, like, in the summertime it blooms, and it's just a beautiful picturesque scene, and it would be a perfect family home, but it's just been left there completely open, and all the windows out, and it looks like they've just been, like, blown out, like there was an explosion. And I asked her, I said, well, what happened? And she said, well, there were people that they say have, you know, basically done, like, different kind of occult practices and seances in the house, which is not uncommon for decrepit houses. This happens a lot. But that there were a family that had died in the home, and that it was under suspicious circumstances, but they never really, you know, were able to resolve the case. So I really don't know everything about this house completely, other than that little bit that she told me, and I was only there for a little while. But I'm going to show pictures of the house like I have been doing, and Abby, if you see this, I'm going to tag you in it probably. You could maybe comment on a little bit more about what you know about the house. If anybody else knows about this eerie house near Springfield, Tennessee, this big white house with blown out windows, it gives a very dark energy reading. And as an empath, like I said, I felt like I was being choked and could not breathe, and my air was just being stifled from my lungs the closer I got to it. And the whole time that I was around it taking pictures, I felt a presence, but I didn't see anything. And like I've told people in the past, I can't make things be seen. Like I can't just like, and I also don't believe in summoning. So, I can't call these things. They show themselves, or different feelings come to me. They happen on their own, and spirit shows me things according to what wants to be seen. Now, I can ask for protection, and I have a really strong connection with my creator and the ability to manifest what I need and to keep protection over my family and me and mine. And I'm not afraid to go into places like this because of that. But I also, like, I don't call things to show them to show themselves to me. Excuse me, I tripped on my words there. English is hard sometimes. Anyway, I instead observe what shows itself to me. I observe the dark realm, as Anne Rice said, but I try not to be a part of it. And then I highlight what I see and try to acknowledge those things so that I can bring peace to unsettled spirits, or cleanse and purify a space for people so that I can bring peace to the situation. I don't like to amplify spiritual presences, and since I am a strong magnet and I have quite a powerful essence myself, I have to be very careful about what I engage in, and because of that, I'm very particular about what I'll be around. So the moment that I feel like I can't breathe, or this is just too much for me, I'll pull myself away so that I can come back to center, and so that my light source can be replenished, so that I can handle whatever's going to be coming at me and whatever it is that I need to do. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting story. The house definitely has a strong energy signature, and it's very dark and very ominous, and I would really love to learn more about it. And yeah, I'm just going to post these pictures and let you guys decide for yourself what you feel off of them. And like I said, like the moment I drove past it, I just was like, whoa, this is something's off. Anyway, yeah. And then that is the last story that I have for tonight. I thought I was only going to have 21 stories for you guys for this, but it looks like I was able to find another one, so it's going to be ending with 22, and I will be posting that for you guys again here shortly. Until next time, check me out on the podcast tomorrow, and I will be talking about the new book release, and I hope you guys have a happy Sunday night. Bye.